Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another day, another album. It's a brand new day, so let's go see what album we're going to be talking about today. Alright, so today we're talking about the debut album of one of the first big rap superstars of the 2020s, Baby Keem, and his debut album, The Melodic Blue. Baby Keem is a rapper I've wanted to like, but I think there's a little bit of a generational gap between me and him. An increasing issue as I reach the decrepit old age of 24. I remember Orange Soda being a big hit around my last year of college or so, and I just wasn't a fan of the childish flows and incredibly immature lyrics. Neither are new for rap, and neither are inherently bad either, but Keem just wasn't developed enough as a personality from that first hit. Of course, from there, Keem would eventually open up about his family ties. Family ties, you get it. With established deity of rap Kendrick Lamar on the debut single from this album that I'll talk about when we fucking get there. But what actually sold me on Baby Keem was his guest verse on Praise God from Donda. While it was arguably the worst feature on the album, it was still a high-energy performance fitting the lyrical tone of the song, and suddenly it was just understandable to me. Plus, even for the worst feature, it was still a pretty solid feature. And all of that led me to The Melodic Blue, the first album under Kendrick's PG Lang label and Keem's debut studio album. This album is incredibly creative and a lot of fun, but it does lead to inconsistencies in quality that a lot of other people write off as inexperienced, but do weigh down the album for me. The opener, Trademark USA, gives us a glimpse into the highlights of the album with a deceptive emotional opening before going into one of the many banger instrumentals on the project. Keem's flow once the beat picks up is phenomenal, and the array of memorable quotables really show that Keem's got something to prove, and he does it well in his performance, even if the track does have one of the most jarring beat changes on the album, and honestly not in the best way, at least on this track. Pink Panties is a divisive song from what I've seen online. You either love the song's catchy lyrics, fun energy, and bouncy beat, or hate the chorus for being annoying and Keem's vocal change-up on that delivery in particular. Personally, I think it's a song that's a little too fun not to love, and the verses especially make up for any annoyance I get from the chorus, which is very little because it's a fucking bop. Scapegoats has an amazing intro with a soulful vocal performance at the start, as well as Baby Keem's personal musings on his life to this point and his rise to his current status. The Drake flows on this song give the energy of a time and place song like 8 AM in Charlotte, with a fitting lyrical presence as well. And my only complaint is that I wish it was longer. I will say though, the outro is kind of cool and even kind of a sonic hint into Kendrick's eventual album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, but that does lead to another issue that I'm going to hit a little harder later on. But right now, we're about to get into some real heavy hitters with a side of hot takes, because the Range Brothers are in, and Kendrick and Keem showcase the best of their chemistry with each other. This song shares its structure with another multi-phase collaboration of theirs on this very album that we'll touch on, but spoilers, this is the best collaboration between the two artists on this album. Keem and Kendrick trading bars over these cinematic strings in the second chorus is the shit of legends. And the lyrical focus of these two, with the older and wiser Kendrick advising a young up-and-comer Keem, really works well on this track. And of course, we cannot forget Top of the Morning, Top of the Morning, Top of the Morning, Top of the Morning. He's Baby Keem. Issues begins the biggest lulls of the album, with an instrumental that does sound interesting, especially with the kind of pitched up 808 and piano, and Keem giving a performance that would honestly put Marvin's Room to shame if it were written from a better melodic standpoint. And it's kind of sad because Keem is actually reflecting on some really personal issues like trauma from his mother and guilt from not being as present for his younger sister. But that why-oh in the second verse kind of just kills the song for me. Gorgeous has an intro that should work, but the mixing of the vocals take me out of the song immediately, and that carries over to the hook as well. The verse flows are decent, but nothing on this song really shows much effort. That lack of effort continues on South Africa, and this song just doesn't fucking work. This song, no. The verse flows are decent, but the hooks, the melodies, and production is very whatever, and that chorus alone sticks in my head in the worst fucking way possible. Lost Souls is a motherfucking snore fest. It sounds like it's trying to be Orange Soda Part 2 until like the last part of the song, which should have just been its own song. And I get Keem wants to come off as effortless kind of lyrically, but it only really works when the energy is there to match on this project, and it's written a little better. Coco is a necessary banger at this point of the album. Baby Keem and horns generally seem to be a good combination, and Don Toliver kills it in a way I wouldn't have expected for production this energetic. Keem's flows in the final verse alone make up for the little bit of the lull that has happened for this album so far. Not all of it though. South Africa is still playing in a loop in my head and I hate it. Okay, so hot take territory, I don't like Family Ties that much. The beat of the song and the phases that it goes down are absolutely great. I will not deny that. And the energy needed for this kind of collaboration is there. But Keem doesn't quite keep up lyrically with Kendrick, and he feels more like an opener for a really bizarre Kendrick feature. Like, I get it. Cowboy Kendrick is indeed amazing, brother, but I don't really enjoy it beyond the memes of it, which were great. And the rest of Kendrick's vocal changes don't have the impact that a song basically revolving around him did, and that kind of is my biggest issue with the song, that it revolves so heavily around Kendrick on Baby Keem's album. When the two are more balanced out, like on Range Brothers, they show best why they're on their way to becoming one of the best duos in rap. This is just a Kendrick promo track with a decent Keem verse, but it could have been something more. Like Range Brothers. Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. Scars whiplashes out of the controversial because this track is fantastic in a very different tone. Going for a sound reminiscent of Love Lockdown with the heavy drums and auto-tune singing, and Keem's heartfelt performance in the hook and lyrical specificity in the verses make this song work really, really well. Easily one of the best songs on the project. Do-Rag Activity continues the great production with some dark keys that perfectly match the guest feature from Travis Scott that sounds exactly like you'd expect, but Baby Keem isn't really helping that much with a lackluster performance, and unfortunately, Travis carried. The opening of Boom Man really needs to be in the hands of Madlib as soon as possible, especially the breakdown later in the track. Keem is back in his kind of lull from earlier lyrically, and while it's not as bad as it was, it's not something I'd seek out on my own. Although many of y'all may recognize the track from another TikTok trend, the wake up in the morning to see my queen trend. Vent is a song I should like because everything is there. Kendrick is a solid surprise feature on the hook with his yelled chorus, and Keem's energy is on par with something like Family Ties, and the production is absolute flames from the guitar and the harsh synths all the way down. The problem is that Baby Keem puts in bars about boogers and piss on his only verse, and it kind of ruins the song's chances of being good or being slightly taken seriously. Really fucking annoying. 16 is a great closer, however, with some great production with the melodic synths, with Keem giving an amazing vocal performance with a gorgeously catchy chorus. I actually didn't know this was the final track, and I appreciate this song as a closer for the album, and it keeps the album at about a more reasonable length. I know a reference track for this song exists that's done by Kendrick, but this is a song that really fits Keem and concludes the album beautifully. The Melodic Blue was a hit from the moment it came out, and from a certain perspective I do get why. With a combination of talented production, unique energy, and some family ties. Is the song. Baby Keem came through with a unique, diverse, if inconsistent debut. The first time I listened to it, I actually really wasn't a fan, but with some time and space since its release, I have found myself enjoying this project a lot more. I appreciate Baby Keem for carving his own lane over trying to be his cousin Kendrick, because he's not Kendrick and he's all the better for not being that and being his own person. The Melodic Blue was a 5.5, but is now a 6.5, and currently sits at number 388 on the list. Be sure to let me know your favorite Baby Keem song in the comments, and I'll see y'all for the next review. Peace.